Hey everyone, it's Jen with Spirited Saturdays, and this month we're doing a different kind of rotation. We are each asking questions to the other members of the team and answering those questions in our videos each week. So each person on the We Are Freedom Fighters team asked one question to each of the other people on the team. So all of the topics will be different this month, and I'm really excited about this rotation. Thank you to Brianna for coming up with the idea. And this week I will be answering a question by Arielle. I'll be answering Arielle's question, which is, how has music deepened your relationship with yourself, and in what ways are you now able to impart lessons to others through your music? So I am a musician. I write music, I play the piano, I sing, and this has been a passion of mine since I was a child. And I've felt that I've always been cultivating this passion and creating it and building it. So when I create music, when I create it and when I play it, or just practice or just play freely, I find that I go into a almost like trance-like state, and that's a really big part of just connecting to my feelings and deepening my awareness of my feelings, deepening my awareness of who I am, because there are no pretenses at that point. And it's a state where I can really let go. And music, I can for sure say, has allowed me to become more free. I can say that about my life, about my recovery. Music has been a building block for my, I guess, the reconstruction or the refinding of myself in my recovery as a person. And it's a place where I can channel my any difficult emotions into. It's a place where I can have a lot of fun, and it's a real source of strength, and it's a real, like, now I worked so hard to get it back once I was recovering, that I would never want to lose it again. So it keeps me tethered to something. Like, if I'm really feeling badly, if I'm feeling like badly about other areas in my life, I know that I have music, and I think in a sense it keeps me solid in recovery, and to a large extent, because I wouldn't ever want to have to work so hard to get it back again. I mean, that, and be put myself through that again. I don't want to lose myself again, and I think that we can also all relate to, like, some aspect of that. Um, what part of yourself do you not want to lose? What part of yourself do you want to not want to work so hard to get back again? And this was for sure one of the biggest things for me. So I don't just make music to play it for myself. I make music specifically to connect with other people, and it is a relationship. And I used it when I was in, like, sick in the eating disorder. I didn't, like, say anything directly in the songs, but I used it as a way of staying connected to people, performing, that is. When I am playing for somebody in a room, um, and I'm aware that they are listening, and I'm feeling their presence and feeling their energy, it's one of the most authentic connections that I could ever have with someone. I feel so exposed and so vulnerable, but at the same time, so safe and so heard. So one of the ways in which I am really hoping to help people through music is through a project that I'm working on right now. And it's a book and music project. So I I won't go too much into it here, but I will tell you. I'll link a link YouTube page, and it's called "Eating Disorders on the Wire: Music and Metaphor as Pathways to Recovery." And it's a book that talks about recovery, my recovery, but also kind of universal concepts of recovery, and it talks about it from a metaphorical perspective. And so it takes you through the process of recovery as explored in metaphor. Every chapter is a different metaphor and a different theme, and it comes with songs. So every chapter has a corresponding song. So that also tells a story. So that's really important too, is telling stories in music. I feel like that is very helpful and very healing. So I really look to music to tell stories. I look to create music from a perspective of having something to say, of telling a story. And maybe that's in one particular song, and maybe it's in a sequence of songs. And this particular project is for sure like a sequence of, it's a story that is told throughout. Um, every song has its own story, of course, but it's very important the way the songs line up to each other. There's actually a beginning, middle, and an end that corresponds with each chapter. That's one way that I'm trying really hard to, that I really hope to be able to help people, because I feel like music can provide such a direct access to emotion. It can provide direct access to the heart. Is really how I feel about it, and it's what helped me. Just listening to other people's music helped me a ton in recovery. I think music can just be a connecting point for people. It could be a universal um, um, a thing that like draws people together. So that is the beauty that music holds for me. That's how it's deepened my relationship with myself. It lets me know myself more and more every day because I know myself through the lyrics that I write, through the melodies that I play, that I'm not consciously trying to cultivate. I'm just realizing them. I'm drawing on things that are already there. They're helping me understand what's already there. They're helping me shape and recognize what's there. I get to observe them, make sense of them. Sometimes just the way something sounds, it feels right to write that particular lyric. But I don't understand how it makes sense as I'm writing it. I'm not thinking, "Oh, I should write this because it 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 means this, or it says this, or it makes sense with that lyric." I only realize that after sometimes, and I'm like, "Oh, I can see how I unconsciously made that connection." And once I realize how I unconsciously made a connection, I have more material to work with for myself, for me, just my growth. Like music helps me as a person grow. I could derive so much about myself through the stuff that I access when I get into like songwriting mode and see what comes out. That is how music has helped me with myself and how it helps me hopefully help others, because I want to help others connect from that same place, and hopefully recognize their own strength, their own their own authenticity and passion and compassion and hope. So, yeah, music can be a great source of hope. Just connection and feeling like you're not alone. All of that. So, thank you for the question, Arielle, and again for the rotation, Brianna. And I will see you next week with another question. All right, thank you. Bye.